Hey everyone, Dr. Chuck Betters here, and I'm coming to you from my dad's YouTube channel, Ask Dr. Betters. And he has invited me to be part of helping him to answer the many questions that have been submitted. And so the one that we're going to deal with today comes from someone who did not give their name, but we kind of feel their pain. Those of you who have been through pain and chronic pain, you're going to feel the pain in their words. And these are just beautiful words that are shared. And let me share them with you now. How can we be expected to live with a disability that causes us constant pain when heaven is there? How can I not want to end my pain without going against God's plan for my miserable existence? And man, that is intense. I mean, the person who wrote this, or if you're watching this and you're going through chronic pain right now, you have some kind of disability, I just want to say that there are many people, there are many of us who know that pain. We might not know the exact pain, but there are many people who know what it's like to go through chronic pain, where it's day after day, week after week, month after month, even year after year. I experienced this many years ago when I went through chronic back pain. And I remember very clearly that I was playing basketball, and I would normally have back pain after I had played basketball, but it would go away after a few days. This time though, it persisted. It went on for a day, for a week, and then it went on for a month, and then it kept going and going and going for months and months and months, and years until I had visited many doctors, had a couple of surgeries, had gone through all kinds of physical pain, physical therapy, discouragement, until finally it went away. And I thank God for that. But so I've gone through years of chronic pain, maybe not like you, but I've gone through it. And there's many people who have gone through it, who understand exactly what you're saying. So nothing that I'm about to say is meant to minimize that. These are things that I had to teach myself and things that I had to learn through my own pain. So one of the things that I learned was, what would the people closest to me, what would my wife, what would my family, what would my closest friends say about how I was dealing with the pain? Whether or not I was listening to the advice that was being given, whether or not I was truly following the medical advice that was being given to me. Now, you might be against doctors, or you might think that doctors don't know anything, and I would just push back against that. God gifts us with doctors. Now, let me explain myself. I believe that any time that there's a title that we find in our existence, here on earth before we go to heaven, anytime we find a title that is shared with Jesus, that is someone we should at least listen to. So anytime we find a teacher, we have Jesus Christ the teacher. So a teacher is what I call a Christ type. Anytime we find someone who is, our own Father, sharing that title, that sacred title with God Himself, with God our Father. That's why it is so heinous when we have fathers who abuse us and who abuse that sacred title. But, doctors, physicians, they share that title, that sacred title, with Jesus, who is our great physician and is our great physician. So anytime we encounter a doctor, a physician, we are encountering what I believe is a type of Christ. I'm not saying we're encountering Christ Himself. I'm saying that we are encountering a gift to us that should remind us of Jesus, at least the good doctors. And most of the doctors I've encountered are just fantastic. So these are types of Christ. And so are you listening to the advice that they are giving you? Are you taking the medicine that they are prescribing to you? And what would those closest to you say? Would they say that you are truly listening and doing the things, the really, really hard things that are being asked of you in order to combat and in order to fight back against this disability, against this pain? And maybe you are. Maybe you've done everything that you know how to do, and you're still coming to to the end of your rope. Okay, so if that's the case, and even if it's not, I'm going to go to the next phase. The next phase is this. In Matthew chapter 5, Jesus talks about this very thing. Now, he is preaching the Sermon on the Mount. He could have preached about any subject with the Sermon on the Mount, but yet he chose certain subjects, and one of them was on worry. And so in Matthew chapter 5 through 7, right in the middle of it, right in Matthew chapter 6, he discusses worry. Think about that. Of all the things he could have discussed, he picked worry, among other things. So he says, do not worry about tomorrow. Today has enough trouble of its own. Just imagine if we applied that to our lives. Because when you think about it, time has three parts. We have the past. And when you apply the past to our chronic pain, it's really an ocean, isn't it? The past is an ocean. It's an ocean without our chronic pain. If you take our pain all the way back to the beginning of our existence, right? Or you take the past all the way back to the beginning of our existence, that's a long time. The past is big. And then when you take it back even further to the past with your family, your grandparents, your genealogy, the past. I don't know about you, but I think about those things every now and then. The past is an ocean. When you think about the future is equally an ocean. The future is big. I mean, how long am I going to have to, the psalmist asked that, how long, O Lord, am I going to have to combat this pain, whatever that pain may be? Your future. How long are you going to be on this earth? How long are you going to have to fight this, what you called a miserable existence? And then when you think about the future, heaven in our future, eternity, Scripture says that eternity is written on our hearts, so eternity in our future, that's large too. So you have the future, which is huge. You have the past, which is enormous, right? So those are the two parts of time, but I said there's three parts of time. What's the third part? The third part is that present, ever-moving thin line. So when you began to watch this video, that's not part of the present anymore. It's part of the past. Like the present is every moment, is staying in that moment. And I love that song, every moment I need thee. I need thee, Jesus. Every hour I need thee. Every moment I need thee. It's been said to stay where your feet are, in the moment, in the present. Why do I bring that up when it comes to chronic pain? Because you're thinking, well, I'm in pain all the time. Are you though? I mean, are you suffering in pain all the time? Or is it that you're thinking about the past pain and you're anticipating the future pain? I remember when I had back pain, I was thinking, am I going to be like this the rest of my life? And that's a big part of the stress and really, in some ways, the sheer terror of the present is thinking about the future. But so many times I thought, well, I'm in the present right now. I'm smiling. I'm enjoying God's creation. I'm enjoying God's blessings. Even when my brother died in 1993, he died in a car accident, and it was awful. And there was times in the present that were totally unbearable. That ever-moving thin line was unbearable. I'm not going to lie, it was. But there were other moments where we were laughing together, we were remembering great memories together, and if you just stay in the moment, stay when Jesus said, stay in the present. He said, do not worry about tomorrow. Today has enough trouble of its own. Stay in the moment. So that would be my encouragement to you, is just stay in the moment. There will be moments that are absolutely unbearable, but I would also say that most of those moments that God gives you grace. He giveth more and more and more and more grace. That great song that we sing. He gives us grace. He doesn't promise us grace for our worries for the future, does he? He promises us grace for the moment. So I hope this helps, and I hope this encourages you in some way. May God richly bless you.
Hello, my name is Danielle Cantler, team member here at MARKINC Ministries. Thank you so much for your continued support of this video series. Ask Dr. Betters is not meant to be a substitute for professional counseling, but instead is designed to extract the biblical principles around the questions being asked. We encourage you to seek professional counseling if needed. professional counselors are ready to assist you at Anchored Hope Biblical Counseling. See the links below for more information on Anchored Hope and all of the free resources we offer here at MARKINC Ministries. Thank you for watching and welcome to the MARKINC family.